Hey everybody, it's Strict9 with Strict9 GP, and welcome back to another episode of my Out of the Park 21 playthrough with the Cubs. This time we're going to be in the playoffs. First time in this playthrough in the 2022 season, so it took us 3 seasons to make it. Luckily, we won the division, the Central, in the National League, so we're didn't have to worry about the wild card play-in game. So we're going to be at least getting a 5-game series, but it's going to be against a tough Atlanta team. We've got still some injuries to deal with. I don't think it's going to look too promising for us, but hopefully we'll sneak through. We won, finished 93-69, not too bad. Atlanta 95-67. Best record in the East and second best record in the National League. I think just looking at Atlanta, they've got a much better starting pitching staff. That's going to really play into this, I'm sure. If you look at us, the big thing was losing. Put him on the active while I'm thinking about it, but losing Darvish early in the year, that hurt us. I mean, he was a 3-star pitcher at the time. He's been fairly, even this year he started out looking pretty decent. But the really big injury that's hurting us is Noah Syndergaard. He's going to be out 3 more months. He's done for the rest of the playoffs, regardless of how far we get. With him in that rotation, I think we've got a chance of getting deep into some of these series and maybe pulling out a win, maybe against Atlanta. But with him gone, we're really struggling, and I don't foresee us really getting past him. But who knows? A lot can happen. Looking at our playoff roster, no real surprises. I am sitting Hendricks. Just guy was really ineffective for the most part. Had to put him in relief about halfway through the year. He comes in, maybe gets an emergency start here and there, but not somebody I want really in the playoffs. And Jack Patterson, he's not going to be playing. Just had a really just sad year for us when we caught him up. He looked a little bit better in AAA, but I don't really see much upside to this guy. Even though he's got 3 strong pitches, his control is too bad. And I think he's rated, even though he's a lefty, he doesn't pitch well against lefties. You can see here from the ratings, 50, 55, 45. So he's average in stuff and control, below average really in control. I don't think he's got much of a future for this team. Other than that, I mean, the rest of the lineups and pitching staff looks pretty much what I expected going into the playoffs. It's good to have NCarte back. He looked good in a limited call-up, limited play time after he came off the injured list. Hit 293, got 41 starts in, so I'm hoping that he's going to be healthy enough to give us some good performance in the playoffs. And what I'm going to do in the playoffs, in the past, I've played them out. I'm not going to do that this time. What I'm going to do is just get started into the game, set my lineups, pitching staff, who I want my starter to be, and then I'm just going to sim it a game at a time and see how far we get. So, first game, big test. We got our best pitcher, lefty Anthony Banda, who's just been phenomenal since we traded for him. And I made a big mistake too. I don't know why. I'm gonna hit this up real quick, but for some reason I thought he wasn't gonna be under control for a while. But I didn't realize or remember that he signed a 3-year extension with I guess Tampa Bay before we traded for him, and it was a very generous extension considering the way he's pitched. So I'm really overjoyed by this. It's one of the best pickups I think so far anyway I've made in this playthrough. So he's going to go against Soroka. Soroka, a 20-game winner this year, might be odds-on favorite to get the Cy Young. They've got Albies, Acuna, Pash, who is a very good defensive center fielder, pretty good offensive player. Austin Riley gives you some power there in the lineup. They're just really stacked, especially Freddie Freeman, I forgot to mention. Especially, from the top to middle of the lineup, they're really good. I mean, we're going with Inciarte, Hazley, Segura, Rizzo, Brennan Davis, Caratini, who had a great season. I'm just hoping that we sneak a win here. But everything looks the way I want it to for this first game. So we're going to get started. Pitchers should be rested. Lineup should be rested. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and send the entire game from here and see how we did. And we lose 7-4. Looks like it was back and forth for a while, but in the middle of the game, they took it to us. Albies, Pash, Freeman, 3 RBIs. I mean, again, that first through 5 in the lineup, they're just going to kill us. Pitching-wise, Soroka looks like he went 7 innings, got the win, gave up 4 runs, just 3 earned. And then on our side, Inciarte, 3 for 5, scored 3. Segura had a good game. Rizzo, a couple RBIs. Caratini, a couple hits. Banda didn't look too good in his first playoff start. And then the bullpen really even worse. Not a good start to it, because if we don't get performances from Banda, it's going to be tough. So now, second game, we're going against Kyle Wright, I think. He's another really good pitcher. I mean, I think he's fairly young, 27. First full year for him in the majors. Did have a lot of walks, but a lot of strikeouts. He's going to be tough to beat. We've got a righty going this time. Doesn't really change too much in their lineup. They're just moving Freeman up a little bit. Contreras, I don't know if, he played last game. So everything's going to be the same for us. I mean, same lineup. I don't see any reason to change it at this point. So let's go ahead and get started in this game. And I'm going to go ahead and sim through, see what happens. And they beat us again, 5-2. A much better pitching performance from them. Acuna, I mean, again, look at this 1 through 5. Multiple hits from Pash, Freeman, Albies, Acuna. 2 RBIs, I guess a home run from Contreras. Wright pitched 7, and Honeywell was hammered early, and we couldn't recover. Offensively, Inciarte another hit, but no multiple hits from anyone in the lineup. Pretty poor outing here. So now that puts us in the hole 2-0. At least we're going back home. Maybe we'll have a good shot at it. And looks like we've got a scouting report here. This might be a pretty good. Usually when they give you that exclamation mark, it's usually a pretty good prospect he's found. And yeah, 3-star potential guy with 70 home run power potential. Not bad. Even OSA likes this guy a little bit. So hey, he picked up a pretty good prospect there. So now, game 3. This is going to be Fried, I think is how you say it. I never can figure out how you say his name. And we've got Sonny Gray. Again, I just hope that he has a good playoffs. It's up to him now. I mean, it's him or nobody. So with lefty pitcher, we're going to move things around a little bit. We're going to have Horner leading off, Davis second, and then move Inciarte. Going to leave him in there against a lefty, but move Hazley and Inciarte down in the lineup. Hopefully that'll be what we need to do, and hopefully these first few guys can get on base for Rizzo and Caratini. But it's really going to be Gray. If Gray has a good game, we got a chance. If he doesn't, it's over. So let's go ahead and sim it out. And it looks like Sonny Gray had a great game. 3-0 shutout. He pitched 8 1/3 innings, no runs. Adams came in, didn't look solid, but held on for the win. Caratini 3 for 3. He's had a good series, hitting 455, but no home runs, no RBIs. There's nobody here. I could say, in Gray a home run in the game. So he was probably the batting star for us as well. On their side, Albies and Contreras had a couple hits, nothing much outside of that. We got to Fried pretty decently, but that's still a strong outing. I mean, if this is the worst outing they're going to have from their starters, we're going to have a tough time beating them. So got a nice playoff achievement there. So Boston, they've already won their series against Angels, beat them 17-1 in that deciding game. I was going to check a look here. International League, which is where Iowa is. Do we have any players? Nope. We didn't have any award winners for the pitcher there. All right, so now this is where it gets scary because I don't know who I'm going to go with because even though I've got that 3-man rotation for the playoffs, I do not like pitching starters who are tired. And if you see for Atlanta, they're able to go with a 4-man rotation. So they're putting 3-star pitcher in there, probably their 4th guy in the rotation for the regular season. But this guy, 24 years old, look at the years he's had. Really good pitcher. They are stacked pitching. It's it's looking pretty bad. So do we go with Banda or should we go with who's rested? Banda is 63%. I don't like those odds. And that means that Corey Abbott is tired because he's been pitching in relief. So that leaves, like Poppin, who could possibly start, although he hasn't started a game this year. We got Elledge, who just doesn't have the stamina, I don't think, to start. Ibarra. And then Rasmussen, a little bit better in terms of stamina, but boy, do you really want to I don't want to risk him. So believe it or not, I think that's going to give us Tyson Miller. Not a very good option, but I just do not want to get hammered. I just don't want Banda to get hammered. I mean, if he was the first starter and he's at 63%, he's probably going to be a little bit tired if we come out and win this game. No, I'll take that back because we will have an off game. So I'm going with Tyson Miller and just crossing my fingers, hoping this works out. I don't know if that means they had to change their lineup a little bit. Holy cow. Whew. What a pitching performance somebody had in this game. I'm hoping that it was Miller. Yeah, he looked good. He gave us 5 innings. It took us 10 innings to win it. We win it in overtime or extra innings, 1-0, but just 2 hits from our pitching staff this whole game. What a performance. I mean, who would have thought? Our pitching staff is ravaged, really, with injuries, and that's what's keeping us in this game. Offensively, not much from really anybody except Horner. He was 3 for 4, scored the go-ahead run. Looks like Rojas may have... No, who drove? It was a pinch hit. Tyler Walls pinch hit RBI to win it. Pitching-wise, solid from Tyson Miller. And Elledge, look at that, 2 2/3, 5 strikeouts. Adams looked pretty good, just a couple walks, 4 Ks, and an inning and a third. Ibarra, the final pitcher to get the win. I'll take it. Wilson looked phenomenal, though. He gave him 9 innings of shutout ball. He should have won. He got the player of the game. But a win is a win. I'll take it anytime we can take it. All right, so now Dodgers, they probably easily advanced 3-1 over the Mets. So we're going to have an off game. Going to be Soroka again. Indians are in as well. Whew. So now the only positive really is going to be that Banda should be at 100%. He is 100% rested. Did not have a good outing last time. 5 innings, 4 runs. It's going to be up to him now to to pull through. Going with this, everybody's going to be in here in terms of the main lineup against righty pitchers. So let's get this game going, see what we can do. I'm imagining Soroka's going to dominate, but who knows? Oh my gosh, another shutout. And we advance 2-0 over the Braves. On the road over the Braves. What a game. Offensively, Inciarte, a leadoff home run. Rizzo, couple hits. Horner, 3 for 4. Good series from him. Banda, though, did what we needed him to do. 7 shutout innings, 5 hits, a walk, 4 Ks. Ibarra and Nishioka came in to save it. Banda, player of the game. Oh my gosh. And it looks like Horner got the MVP of the series. Let me take a look at the playoff coverage. Yeah, he was the MVP. So if you look at how he did, he was 7 for 19, just 1 RBI. Caratini hit well too, 7 for 19, 368 average for both of them. Not much offense. Rojas, Segura, Brennan Davis. Brennan Davis was 1 for 19 in the series. I'm still keeping with him. He's a 3-star player. He's got good ratings all across the board. Had a good year for us. So I'm still going to leave him in there. I know one of my viewers pointed out his BABIP wasn't too high. What is it now? 336. It is pretty low, I'll admit. But I feel like he's still the best option at right, so maybe he'll get it going in the series against Los Angeles. But this was all about the pitching. We had several pitchers here, gave up no runs. The only really poor outing was from Honeywell in the starting. What was it, game 2 when he started? So this is going to take us up against Los Angeles. They're going to have the home field advantage. I don't feel like we've got a chance here to change anything around. So game 1, it's going to be Walker Buehler. 14 wins for him on the season, 236 strikeouts, a 5-star pitcher. He's probably their ace at this point. But let's go ahead and get into this one. I'm going to go with the same lineups. Nothing's going to change. Looks like everybody's rested. Brennan Davis is looking pretty bad. Honeywell, I'm going with him as the starter because I think he's going to be the one who's going to be rested most outside of Sonny Gray. But I think Honeywell, man, do you go with Sonny Gray? No, he's 94%. I'll save him for game 2. So let's go ahead and start this game out and see if we can just surprise the heck out of Los Angeles and get out of this one. And we don't. They completely clobbered us, 17-6. A lot of runs late, so 6 runs in the second inning. So they got to Honeywell early. We scored 5 runs in the 9th, and that's the only way we made it even competitive. Offensively, Horner having another good game. Caratini, couple RBIs. Not much else to speak of. Honeywell, just 1 2/3. Abbott, Miller, Pop, and Rasmussen. Man, these guys were just hammered completely, and Buehler had a great game. Offensively, Bellinger, 2 for 4, drove in 3. Muncy, 3 for 3, drove in 3. 5 RBIs from Jock Peterson. He scored 4 runs. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 home runs in this game. That's not going to win too many games. All right, so let's just shake it off and move ahead. Game 2. It's going to be Graterol. 10 wins, 24-year-old rookie. Has some control issues, but he's a 4-star pitcher. Not much stamina, so if we can get to him early and maybe get to their bullpen, we'll be okay. I think I didn't really look at Los Angeles. I think they had 115 wins, finished 1 win below that record total from Seattle. I think 116. We know their offense is going to be good with Seager and Bellinger and Muncy, and I'm not familiar with Daniel Johnson, but he's had a pretty good year for him. But you look at that starting rotation. Yeah, they're a little bit better. I mean, they've got four decent starters, whereas we only have three, and they've got Ken Giles in as their closer, pretty good bullpen as well. So let's see if we can get lucky here. We're going to go with Sonny Gray. Should be 100% right now. Graterol is a righty. It looks like Brennan Davis is still struggling in the playoffs. Segura is not having a good one either. But I'm going to leave everything the way it is. I don't really have too many guys off the bench that can play for them right now. So let's send this one out, see what happens. Another bad pitching performance. 10-3. We scored 3 runs in the first, and they right away scored 3 in the bottom of the first, so that probably did us in. Segura bounced back here, 2 for 3, drove in 3, but Davis still struggling, hitting 080 in the playoffs. And then pitching wise, Gray 4 innings, 4 runs, so he was back to his first game form. Looks like Elledge looked bad in relief. Ibarra he's been terrible. This is a much better pitcher than this. I mean, he had a decent regular season. He's just been hammered in the postseason. Gavin Lux had a good game for him here, 2 for 4, drove in 4. Johnson another good game, and then pitching wise, Graterol, we got to him in that first inning. He was out by the 5th, but then their bullpen came in. They even threw Kershaw in there. Looks like he is about done for his career, and that's a shame because look at his contract. He signed through 2026 with that vesting option, so they're on the hook for 3 more years at $21 million. Looks like. All right, so we're going back home. That's what we did against Atlanta. Down 2, came back and won 3 in a row. So maybe we can get lucky here. Going against May, he may be one of their. I don't know. He's rated pretty high. He doesn't have great stamina, but he's coming off a pretty decent couple of years here, so he's going to be tough to beat. He is another righty. I'm going to stay with the regular lineup. Banda, 93% rested, but I'm going with him. He's got to hopefully keep us in the game. After him, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. Hopefully he'll go deep enough that I'll have somebody to go in that next game. In terms of Brennan Davis I do have Ibarra. I think it's time to put Ibarra in there, mix it up, and let's see what he can do. I'm going to put him. Segura's struggling a little bit, but I still like him a little bit better up there at the top in that 3rd spot. I'll move Caratini up and put Barrera there in the 6th spot. See what he does. He was another guy that I picked up late, so hopefully now's his chance to really show what he can do. So we're going to sim this one out, and we bounce back. Good game here, 5-2. Just 2 runs. It was early, so hopefully Banda. Yeah, it looks like Banda went deep in the game. So offensively, Inciarte, a couple hits. Hazley may have had a home run in this one. He did. Rizzo, a good game, 3 for 4, drove in 2. Barrera had a hit for what it's worth. And then Banda, 8 innings. That's what we needed. 8 innings, 2 runs. Adams came in, got the save. So Banda's looked good in this playoffs as well. Two wins, 2.70 ERA. Boston sweeps, so it's going to be Boston. Maybe a repeat here if LA wins. Boston, LA, and Graterol's injured. So they're going to be without their, either 3rd starter. So they're gonna be struggling. Looks like they got Ferguson going. So who can we pitch? I mean, it's Caleb Ferguson. Man, he doesn't look too bad. I mean, he gave him 32 starts this year. The big deal with him, just 4 wins, is that stamina. He's only probably going to give you 4 innings at a time. Honeywell, he's tired. Um, we're down 2-1. I mean, we can go with Poppin. Um, Tyson Miller and Abbott, those guys are going to be pretty tired. Tired enough that I don't want to throw them in there. So, yeah, crazy as it may seem, I'm going to go with the rested player. And I'm also, I think I'm going to put Ibarra in here for Brennan Davis. I like Ibarra as a lefty in that second spot anyway. And this guy, he hit 287, finished 287. Against righties, he's a 289 hitter. I'll take a gamble. I know Brennan Davis should be rated a little bit better, but give him one more break, and this one's going to be tough. Hopefully we can get to their starter early and prevail here. Wow. So this was all about the offense. 13-11. We pull out another one. Tie the series up. And, gosh, what can you say about that? I mean, Horner, another good game. He's hitting 400 in the playoffs, 3 for 4 in this one. Caratini, 3 for 5, drove in 4. Inciarte and Rojas had good games. Poppin probably went out early. He did 1 1/3. Abbott, Elledge, just about every pitcher was used in this game. So I'm really going to have to go with whoever's available in Game 5. Adams picked up a save. He's looked pretty decent in the playoffs. On their side, Ferguson, we did get to him early, and then their bullpen hasn't looked that sharp. So we're able to stay competitive against them with the bullpen. Gavin Lux, injured. He's out for the rest of the series, maybe out for the playoffs. That's a big blow for them. Johnson, though, I don't know where this guy came from, but he is having a tremendous playoffs. 6 home runs, 10 RBIs, hitting 387. Seager, we've held him pretty good this series. Bellinger the same way. I don't think he's playing too well. So it's looking good if we can hang on and win this last game here. 5-run comeback to win that one. I didn't see that. How bad were we down? Well, I mean, we were down 5-0 early. That's what they mean. All right, so now back to Buehler. I'm hoping we're going to have Honeywell at 100%. He is going to be at 100%. He needs to pitch the game of his life. And I'm going to do something different. I'm going to give Davis a chance here. I still like his power. I'm just hoping that, Buehler, let's see, what is he like against, he gives up quite a bit of home runs, 29 on the year. Maybe we'll just get lucky. And nothing else, though, is going to change. I don't see anybody who's looking tired. So let's just go ahead and get started. This is the pivotal game. If we win, we're up 3-2. They win, they're up 3-2. And they pull it out. Pitching this time, they beat us 3-0. 6 hits in the game for both, but looks like we may have had a good outing from Honeywell, but it was just not enough offense. Muncy and Bellinger home runs in the game. That was their offense. Buehler, another great game. 7 innings shutout. He's got an ERA of 1.89 in the playoffs. Honeywell looked good. 7 innings, just 1 earned run. Ibarra, Rasmussen came in. Segura, 3 hits. Davis still hitless. I think that'll be it for him in this series. I don't know that I'll want to risk him unless we're going against a lefty pitcher. So that puts us down 3-2. Back to LA. They're going with Alex Wood. So yeah, I probably will. As bad as this guy's played, I'm probably going to leave Davis in there. And just hope that he has a good game against this lefty pitcher. Wood has also looked pretty decent, I think, in the playoffs. Everything else is going to be the same. Unfortunately, we're kind of stacked against righties. I mean, we have more lefty batters in there with Hazley, Rizzo, Inciarte. I'm going with Sonny Gray again. He's 100%. He pulled through in that series against Atlanta, so maybe he'll do it here. He had that shutout to help us out. And here we go. Another great game from our pitchers. Gave up 1 run early and then shut them down the rest of the way. Just 4 hits for the Dodgers in the game. We win 2-1. 14 hits for us, but we just couldn't score. And Brandon Davis was the offensive hero. I would think of this one, 3 for 5, had a home run. So he finally bounces back. Rizzo, a couple hits. Rojas, a couple hits. Sonny Gray, though, 5 innings, decent. And then finally the bullpen had a good outing. Ibarra, Nishioka, Adams. That ties it, sends it to Game 7. Look at this. Everybody in the starting lineup got a hit. And we still just finished with 2 runs. So now here we go, Game 7. We're going against May, and I think we're going to have a trouble right off the bat with pitching if Banda isn't. Thankfully, he's at 100%. So it couldn't have really played out better with that pitching staff, in my opinion. I'm going to go with Davis again, even though it's a righty, because I'm hoping that game got him back on track. Segura has been hot now. Leaving him in. I don't see anybody tired. So this is it. This is for everything, really. I expect them to really play hard in this one. They don't want to lose Game 7 at home. So here we go. What's it going to be? They do. They pull it out. 4-2. Had to come from behind, win it late. Scored 3 in the 8th. And that was going to do it. Looks like for them, Bellinger and Voit had good games. Sanchez, though, he probably was the hero. Looks like a late home run to give them the win. May had a good outing, 5 innings, but 10 Ks, just 1 run. Then Giles came in to close it. Banda, he was, once again, this guy, he is, in my opinion, the MVP of our season. Had a great playoffs for us. We just didn't get the offense for him, and then Wilson blew it. There in the bullpen. Offensively, Hazley and Inciarte looked good in the top of the lineup. Horner had a good playoffs. He's still young. 3 stars now, 25. I like his personality ratings. I think he's going to be settled in there at second for the foreseeable future with this team. So let's go ahead and Daniel Johnson, by the way, got the MVP. So that's going to put us out of the playoffs, and that means it's going to be the Red Sox and Boston and the Dodgers. A repeat of that. What was it, 2017? I can't remember which year, 2018. But hopefully the Dodgers can prevail here. It's looks like Red Sox, I didn't pay too much attention to their regular season. I mean, they were a wild card coming in, and they just mowed through the playoffs. They won against the Astros in the wild card play-in, 3-1 against the Angels, and then swept Cleveland 4-0. But let's go ahead and finish it out here. And the Boston, they do it 4-3. They were down 3-1, but they pull it out. But I can't complain about this year. One game short of the World Series, and that's without Syndergaard. So we had a good season. Great job on the score. 8-14. I have scored higher, but I hope that's pretty good. I'm going to take a look at the end of the season news here, and then that'll do it for this season. So we've got a couple of decisions here that we need to do. Gene Segura's option year is coming up. He's a 3-star player. The problem I'm having with him, one thing I do love about him is he gives you a lot of innings or at-bats, for what it's worth. I mean, he plays a lot. He had, in some ways, a better year this year than last year, a 3.8 wins above replacement, 97 runs. But here's the thing. The team option is $17 million on him. And we're tight for money. I mean, that would hurt free agent, that would really hurt us. But let's also take a look. Do we have any third baseman coming up? Not really. I mean, this guy is 2 stars and a poor defensive third baseman. Uh, we got Heredia, who looks pretty good potentially, but he's also a poor defensive third baseman. So, you know, I mean, my heart says we should probably give him 1 more year because I don't think we're going to find a better player at that. Well, we might find a better player. Like if I look at the upcoming free agents, um, I mean, do we have anybody at third that I would be willing to take a? Nah, I mean we got what some 3 stars there. Escobar might. Nah, he's not a good defensive third baseman either. I mean he's going to be the best option, and I want we were able to. Um, I'm going to execute the option. We were able to make it to the playoffs with him. Um, so I'm just going to keep doing it. Now, Sonny Gray, however, um, 3 stars. He did not look great. He's going to demand 12.7. I do, he's got great stamina. He's got all the pitches, that you need from a guy, but his control and movement, they're really struggling right now. He's not really good against lefties or righties. I think I need to just take a pass on him. Now, it was good, and I wouldn't necessarily do that if I didn't have Banda. So our season goals, he's happy that we made the playoffs, obviously. He's still wanting us to upgrade it short. He feels okay about Dickerson, but I mean, this guy, I don't know if I want to sign him or not. He's a Gold Glove winner, but do we really need him at left? That's going to be some thinking on my part, I think, because against right-handed pitchers, he's really rated heavily in contact and gap power. He can still play defensively okay at left, and I have not, even though Ian Happ rated better defensively, has better power, I just haven't been sold on this guy, and he's not going to return for another 7 weeks. He might, even though he's a team leader, he might be somebody I try to trade. I may try to keep Dickerson. I'm still undecided on that. But he's really wanting us to increase attendance. He's happy with our performance overall, and he's wanting NCRT signed to an extension. He wants us to improve our attendance. I really am surprised our attendance is so low. We've got very big market size, good loyalty, fan interest is at 85. I mean, we have 38,000 a game, so I don't know what he's thinking there, but I know a lot of people there. There's always some debate on whether we want to pay much attention to those owner goals. I like it as an extra challenge, though. NCRT 3 years, $3 million and a player option. Man, I really think. I mean, he had a bad luck there with injuries. I think that's a great deal. I'm going to go for it. So meet demand and submit the offer. And now, new budget. That's going to, well, it's not too bad. Money for free agents, $52 million. Sonny Gray decision helped us there. And we've got some personnel leaving. We lost our bench coach. I'm sure we're going to have some minor league personnel to figure out. Top prospects, do the Cubs have anybody? We don't. And our system is really going down there pretty far. We got pitcher Velez, who is still in the international complex, and then Brennan Davis, still listed as a prospect. This should be his last year on that list. So we really need to improve our minor league farm system. Arbitration, take a look at that really quick. I mean, we're not going to have too many big decisions outside of Caratini. I wonder if I could sign Caratini to an extension at this point. Like he's won a big one. I'm going to work on that too, offline. Other than him, though, I mean, Ian Happ is the big decision. May try to trade him at this point. Inciarte, I hope I get to re-sign him. I may re-sign Dickerson. We'll see how that goes. I might re-sign him and trade away Ian Happ. Ian Happ might potentially give me another good starter or some bench help, if nothing else. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with him. So that's going to end this episode, end the season. I'll get through the off season. We'll look at next episode. I'll probably look at the end of season awards, start free agency, and see if we can build this team back up. I really like our chances again because now, considering Syndergaard hopefully will be back healthy enough, we're going to have Banda and Honeywell. We'll probably want to improve our pitching staff going into the to free agency. Might be able to sign another 3-star or above starting pitcher. I think we're okay in the bullpen, if I want to re-sign. If I want to re-sign Adams, and he had such a good run there towards the end of the season, he might be worth looking at. He's only wanting $1.8 million. Now I think he's a free agent. Let me double check that. No, he's arbitration eligible. So I didn't really even take a look at that. Yeah, he is. He's still arbitration eligible. So fine with him. So the holes that we have to fill are really going to be what are we going to do at left field? That's going to be the decision. And really, honestly, Barrera may be at 26 with his speed and contact and defense. He may be ready to start. I mean, this guy could at least platoon him, and he's not going to give you power, but he's going to give you everything else. He may be ready to go. I mean, I might be able to free up a little bit of money here with Ian Happ's situation. But as always, thanks for watching. Appreciate the support of the channel. Hope you still enjoy this series. I'm going to give it maybe one more year at least to see if we can repeat and get the team to the World Series. And after that, might try something new. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next episode.